Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a while. I have been in my MIA, and I know that it is my fault. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of crazy things, I guess. But I'm back, and just in time for EFC 116. Of course, that event is gonna feature, the middleweight title fight, which is gonna see us crown a new middleweight champion after JP Kruger has decided to retire. Of course, we're going to have the former champion, Luke Michael, who's going to be challenging for the gold. And he will be going up against the man that I have for you guys today. He will be going up against the one and only Jaco du Plessis.
How's
Welcome,
it?
Jaco.
Thank
How are
you
you?
for having me. I'm awesome. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Now, Yaku, I know that it's your birthday today. Today's the 30th of July as we film this, guys. And it's Yaku's birthday, and he's turning 28. So, happy birthday to you, Yaku.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, getting
Yeah.
older by the minute.
Older and wiser, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So let's just jump straight into it. We know that you're part of the renowned Team CIT, where you train with the likes of Dricus du Plessis, the UFC middleweight champion, and you train with Cameron Simon over there also, who's a UFC bantamweight contender, and all of that. Can you just tell us about like how you came to actually be a part of Team CIT?
Yeah, man. So when I started my MMA journey way back, I googled like which MMA gym is the closest to me, and CIT was the first gym that popped up. It was right around the corner, 2 kilometers from my house. And I said,
Oh,
yo, I have to go and check this place out. And I went there. That was way before the gym looked like it's looking now. It was in the basement with the red mats,
ooh,
pretty hardcore, old school gym at the time. And I immediately saw all of the pro fighters. I saw Dricus when he was still in the EFC. I think he was the welterweight champ at the time. Didn't fight for the middleweight title yet. And yeah, the rest is history. That's how I got to the gym. And since then, I've been growing with the gym as an amateur. And we moved to the new spot, which is upstairs, same location. It's just upstairs. And yes, just kept on growing as the gym grew, and here I am, about to fight for the middleweight title, which was once held by Dricus himself. So yeah, it's truly a dream come true.
what a full circle moment right there, isn't it? So
Yeah.
at the gym, who is your actual like do you have like a favorite training partner or sparring partner that you like, like I feel like him and I we're on the same wavelength?
Like no, we don't get the opportunity to have a partner like that. There's constantly partners that's getting changed each and every round. So I
Mm,
don't have a favorite partner. Anyone that pushes me to my limits, I value their time and their effort because they make me better. If one thing that I don't like is someone that wants to take an easy round, then I'd rather not go with him. So
yeah.
everyone that puts in the work in there, they are there to improve, they are there to get better. So all of them are my favorite training partners. Everybody is trying to level up and pushing each other to the limit. So yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah. You mentioned that you were with Team CIT all the way from like your amateur journey and all of that. And we know that you went undefeated in your amateur career, which was 4 fights. So can you tell us a little bit more about like how that journey was for you coming up in the amateur ranks? And I know that it only lasted about like a year or two. So it was a very short-lived period of time, but you pushed 4 fights during that time, undefeated. So how was that for you?
So I started at the gym weighing 120 kilograms, and obviously as I trained, my weight started melting off, started losing the weight, and then I started thinking, okay, I can fight. But before I even started to think that I can fight, it took me a good 2 years to shake off the weight. And
Oh,
in that 2 years, I've obviously been training and everything. So before I even competed, I trained for 2 years only. And Yeah, actually, if you look on Tapology, my record says 4 amateur fights, but they missed one of them, my first debut fight. They didn't record it, and I tried to email them about it, but they said they needed proof. Lost all of the photos and the video of that fight, so that one is not on my
Yeah.
record. So I actually have 5 amateur fights. Um, and I was well on my way to try and fight for a title, to try and go to Worlds, and then COVID struck, and all of
Oh.
that has been put onto a hold. We still trained, and like at the end of COVID, um, well, mid COVID, the pro team started asking me, what are my plans? Do I really want to go pro? Am I interested in going pro? And I said, yes, this is what I want to do. And obviously, I they said, well, I just have to keep on training hard, and before I know it, I'll be in the team. And I think that was like on a Monday, and then they invited me for sparring on the Friday. And yeah, that was my first session with the pros. Very gruesome, terrifying session, but yeah, then I started to join them, and coach said he didn't want me to fight any amateur fights anymore. We're going to focus on getting me into the pro scene. So that's the only reason why I don't have as many amateur fights, is because of COVID. And then obviously when I started to join the team, coach said I'm way too good to fight amateur, so I have to focus on going pro now. We're not messing around in the small leagues anymore. So yeah.
Okay, okay, I hear you. So we know that you made your professional debut at EFC 90 in November 2021, and you won that fight via a second round armbar. So, can you just describe how you felt in that moment where you finally get to step into the EFC hexagon and you win your first fight in such a tremendous fashion?
Oh, it was surreal. I remember it as if it were yesterday. I was going into the cage, all of the lights, everything felt slow motion and just so, real. It's happening. And just remember that I told myself just to breathe, relax. We're here now. This is what we worked for. And the fight started, and yeah, the rest is history. I remember after the first round, I was thinking, oh, that round didn't really feel as long as I thought it would feel. And the second round happened, and I think I was on top of him, and I wanted to do a little bit of ground and pound, and he reversed me instantly, and I was on my back. And I was thinking to myself, this is not a good place to be. I have to get out of here. And I saw his arm was pretty tight to my chest, and I just thought, okay, well, let's go for it. Let's throw a haymaker to get out of this position. And I got to armbar, it popped in, and yeah, it was just crazy. I don't know how to put it into words, but it was really, really a big, overwhelming feeling. Very happy. All of the hard work paid off, and yeah, I was just in the moon.
Yeah. Since then, you've had 3 fights now. After your debut fight, you've had 3 fights where 2 of them were in the EFC and one of them was actually at UAE Warriors, and you've won all 3 of them, right? Do you feel like your professional career
Yes.
has gone the way that you would have expected it to, or the way that you would have hoped for it to?
Well, obviously, saying that all of them were wins, yes, I wanted to win all of them. So in that regard, yes, but not entirely. As to, I didn't showcase really what I can do. I wanted to show more of me. I wanted a little bit more. How can I put it? Convincing finishes, if I can put it like that way. Obviously, I got a decision as well with one of those wins, and that to me is a big no-no. It felt like I had a dagger pierced through my heart when I saw that I'm going to decision. And I'm not a decision fighter. I wanna finish fights, and I wanna make a statement, and to leave it into the judges' hands, that's just not who I am. So that really broke my heart and told me to start to elevate my game, train harder, because we're not going to decision again. So in regards to, did I finish every fight and win it the way I wanted to? Not really, but like I said, I'm thankful for the wins, and in that regard, it definitely went my way, which I am super thankful for. But from here on out, no more decisions. We're done with that. we're going for the kill.
Yeah. So your last fight was actually in early 2023. So that's well like over than like a year ago type of vibe. What have you been up to this past year? Like what have you been doing? What have you been changing up maybe in your training? Did you take up a new martial art? Did you perhaps, I don't know, make a major life decision?
Yeah, so obviously, I can guarantee you that I've been leveling up in this past year and a half that I've not been competing. Um, Obviously, with Dricus fighting for the title, um, I got injured after my fight in Abu Dhabi, so I had a little bit of recovery time after that. And then, as soon as I got recovered, it was straight back to the gym and started prepping again, started learning new stuff, started elevating my game. A big life decision that I did do is I got married after my Abu Dhabi fight. So yeah, uh, that's one of the big decisions. And then obviously with that, just trying to find my new groove with my wife and our lifestyle, trying to fully get into a good routine where I can properly train and do everything I have to get to the next level. And obviously patiently been waiting for fights to come up. I got offered a fight, I accepted the fight, then I broke two of my ribs. So
Oh.
I had two injuries, which also put me back a little bit. But you can believe me when I tell you, even though I was injured, I was still leveling up. Um, because obviously, after my first injury, there was time where I could train. As soon as I started camping, I broke my ribs, I had to take off again and then straight into camp again. Dricus's camp for his title. After his camp, we just build off of those, off of the momentum that we gained there, and it was just been training since then and waiting for a fight to pop up. So I've been busy. I've been training. Um, yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you had an injury in Abu Dhabi, like at your UAE Warriors fight. Do you mind disclosing what injury that was and how you have recovered from that right now?
Yeah, so I tore two of my ligaments in my one foot, completely torn off. So it was quite the road of recovery that was lying before me. I actually still have a picture on my phone of how my feet looked after the fight. It was very swollen, blue on both sides of the ankle.
Mm.
So yeah, it was just a freak injury. It happened. I think it happened in the first round. I can remember I kicked, and I'd say to myself, "That's gonna hurt after this fight." But at least it didn't. It didn't stop me from winning. It didn't stop me from getting the finish, and I'm truly thankful for that. Because injuries can be a bitch. It can really cost you a fight. And I'm so glad that that didn't. So, yeah, but I'm fully recovered, fully healed, fully rehabilitated. So, yeah.
That's amazing. We're glad to hear that. And so now we move forward, fast forward like more than a year later, you are set to be challenging for gold at EFC 116. You will be challenging for the middleweight title from the EFC against Luke Michael. Can you just tell us about like how this fight came about for you? And when did you get to find out about the fact that you're gonna actually finally get to challenge for this title?
So, yeah, honestly, the negotiations for fights and stuff is not done by myself. It's done by my coaches and the managers. Um, Honestly, when I heard JP and Luke, they will be fighting for the middleweight title. Um,
Mm.
I was like, well, there's a history of Luke pulling out of fights beforehand, getting injured or whatever the case may be. So I was just like, listen, Graham, I'm ready to be a backup for whoever. If one of them can't make it to the fight, I'm ready. I'm on weight. I'm ready to go. I didn't put in a camp, but I've been training for a year and a half. So I know I'm ready. And Graham said, well, both of them looks ready. Both of them wants to fight, but we'll make you the backup fighter for in case something goes wrong. Never know what goes wrong. And I was like, okay. So I was ready for being the backup for that fight. And then obviously their fight happened. So in my mind, I was like, well, if I was the backup, then that means I'm next in line. So yeah, right. Since then, my mindset has been I'm fighting for the title. Even before they announced it, that was my mindset. Even before I knew it. So yeah, I've been knowing in my heart for a long time. So yeah.
And so at EFC 115, we had two title fights there, but we also had a very, 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 very intense face-off between you and Luke Michael. You guys both came to the EFC Performance Institute, otherwise now known as the World Sports Betting Arena, and yeah, you guys had a very heated exchange. Can you tell us a little bit more about like how you feel about Luke Michael and what did you think of him as a person, especially in that exchange, in that moment?
Well, listen, obviously, it goes without saying, if you have the guts to step in there, put it on the line, you deserve respect. It's not everybody that has the guts to do that. And so, obviously, I give respect to Luke. He's a former champion as well. That only comes from hard work. So, in that regard, I respect him and I acknowledge what he accomplished. But what I saw that night, obviously it was in the heat of the moment and you can't really reflect on character in a moment like that. But I just saw that he is not in control of his emotions. And that is a big red flag, especially in this industry. If you can't be in control of your emotions or your body, you're screwed, bro. And that is what I saw. I saw that he tried to hype himself up to give himself that confidence that he needs. And honestly, that big of a reaction just for a stare down, I can guarantee you in for a long night if you're going to step in there with me. Um, so, yeah, that's what I saw in him. As a person, I don't really know him, so I can't judge him as a person or what the case may be. And like I said, it was in the heat of the moment. So whatever he said, whatever I said, um, you can't judge a person based off of that. It was just emotion. It was reaction. But like I said, if you're not in control of your emotions, this isn't for you.
Yeah. Okay. And so on the most recent episode of Engage, which is the EFC series that they do over there, we saw Coach Monet Fisser actually giving a young prediction saying that he wouldn't like we wouldn't be shocked if we perhaps got to see you submit Luke Michael at EFC 116. Do you agree with that assessment? Do you think that perhaps we might see a young submission from you? The last time you got a submission was with your first fight, your debut fight. Do you think that you might run it back and actually pull a submission out this time?
So yeah, if you look at my amateur career, it was pretty balanced. It was, I think I got three TKOs and two submissions. So I tried to keep it as balanced as possible. Then obviously with my debut submission, which just happened. But honestly, like Coach said, we are preparing for anything, anywhere, whatever, wherever the fight goes. I'm ready to fight there. I'm a martial artist, and I'm not only good in one aspect of the sport. So um, if if push comes to shove and the finish is there, whether it's by knockout, whether it's by submission, I'm taking it. So if there's a submission to be taken on that night, I'm taking it. So yeah, I'll also won't be surprised. I just know I'm winning, so it doesn't matter how I'm getting the W.
And earlier on, you said that like the decision that you had the last time, you saw that that was the last decision that you're ever gonna get. So, do you think that for this fight specifically, we're definitely gonna get a finish from you? Is that what we can expect from you?
Absolutely 100%. I'm hunting for the finish. I'm going in for the kill. There's no way that I will be satisfied with the decision. Um, Decision is, I don't even want that word in my vocabulary. So finish. I'm looking for that finish and I'm getting the finish.
So we're seeing that like Luke Michael is feeling very confident, especially because he has achieved this before. He has already, gone through the fire, as some may say, in terms of like being able to actually ascend the throne and actually capture that title. What makes you so confident that you, as a person who's challenging for the gold for the first time, you will be the one to walk away as the champion at EFC 116?
Well, there's a lot of aspects, and the way I view it, firstly, his biggest mistake is underestimating me, thinking that I'm new to this game and I don't know anything about it. Um, I might be new to the game if you look at my record, but I've been at it for a whole while. I've been training with beasts day in, day out. I'm training with the best this country has to offer, the best the world has to offer. If you look at my weight category and who the champ is in that weight, so that gives me a lot of confidence, man. And then just also how I regard this fight. I don't regard this fight as a title fight. Um, that's not how I look at this fight. This fight for me is I have a guy in front of me. I need to eliminate this guy. This guy's trying to kill me, and he's not going to succeed in that. I'm the one that's stepping out of there alive, and I'm taking him out. That's how I view this fight. The titles, the lights, all of that. That's just distractions, man, and that's not something that's going to distract me. I know what my goal is. I know what my job is, and that's why I'm focused. That's why I'm confident, because I know who I am. I know how good I am. I know what type of training I've been through. I know with what type of warriors I'm training day in and day out. So there's really not a man on this earth that can scare me. So yeah, that's the only reason that I have this confidence.
So we know that like the middleweight division, right? Especially within the EFC, the middleweight division tends to be one of the more exciting divisions to watch out for, and there's always activity happening in the division. Um, do you feel as though should you win at EFC 116, you will want to be a fighting champion, and could we perhaps see you getting back into the Hicks before the year ends, and perhaps maybe give a title shot to someone like Shadrach and Sua, or I don't know, one of the other up and coming middleweights?
Yeah, definitely. Like I want to be active. Like I've been off for a year and a half now, off of competition. So that's a year and a half that I lost of competing. So obviously I need to be active now. So when I win that title next week, I'm definitely going to be active. I'm definitely be prepared to defend it against whoever. I know Shadrach just suffered a loss against his previous opponent via knockout.
Yeah.
And I know he's fighting on the same card as me. I think he's fighting Kulakani, which is also a tough fight. So let's see how he does. And if he gets through that, I don't mind. I don't mind defending against him. I don't mind defending against whoever the EFC puts in front of me. I don't mind if the EFC makes a fan poll to see which will sell the most fights. I'm ready to defend whoever, whenever, wherever. Let's go, man. I want to be active. I want to do what I can do, you know?
Yeah. And now, like beyond the EFC middleweight title, let's say you capture the gold at EFC 116. What's next for you? What are some of your other goals beyond this title? What else do you want to achieve in the world of MMA?
So obviously, anyone that starts with MMA, if your goal is not to get to the UFC and be a UFC champion so that you can claim that you are the best in the world, then I don't know why you're doing the sport. So obviously, it's to go to the top, go international, get to one of the most prolific promotions there is in the world, number one in the world, I believe. And yeah, just take it from there, build myself up, capture a title like Dricus has captured a title, and yeah, let's take it from there. I want to reach the highest highs in the sport, so that's what I'm gunning for.
Yeah. Now, I think just before I close, I just want to ask, what is your message to Luke Michael ahead of your fight with him at EFC 116?
The only thing that I can really say is, Luke, uh, like I said, I think I said it in the previous episode of EFC Engaged. Um, I hope you're training hard. I hope you're training well. I hope you're injury free. I hope that you are bringing your best version to date to that cage, because I know I am bringing my best version to the cage next week, and I want to beat the best version of you. I don't want any excuses. So, yeah, I just hope you're healthy and you're well, you're training hard, because I know I am, and I'm coming to fight. So, I hope you're also coming to fight.
Amazing. And just just to close it up, I guess, what is your message to fight fans around the world who might be, maybe on the a bit on the fence about this fight, thinking about why should I tune in and all of that? What is your message to those fight fans and to those who will be definitely tuning in to see who is crowned the new middleweight champion?
Well, my message to them is, well, what can I say? I'm not a guy of many words. I don't like to speak a lot. So I do all of my talking in the cage. So if you need a reason to come and watch EFC 116, go and watch the stay down at 115, see how intense it is. I think the press conference will be next week. Watch the press conference and come and see. But if you're still not sold on that, I will give you a highlight reel that will guarantee you will watch EFC 117 if you don't tune into EFC 116.
Amazing. Yaku, I'm gonna let you get back to your birthday celebrations and all of that. But before that, can I just get your social media? Where can people find you? Where can people follow your story? Where can people see how you're prepping and living, essentially?
Yeah, so social media, I have Instagram and Facebook. I don't have TikTok or Twitter or anything like that. I suppose I should maybe start getting those. A lot of people are looking for content on those platforms as well. But yeah, my Instagram handle is, let me just see which hand. Yeah, on the bottom of the screen. Um,
Yeah.
and my Facebook name and surname is Jaco du Plessis. Um, yeah, that's that. Uh, yeah,
Amazing. Okay, guys. So we're just gonna let Yaku get back to his birthday celebrations. But Yaku, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really, really appreciate it. And catch Jaco du Plessis in action at EFC 116 on Thursday, August 8th, 2024, live from the World Sports Betting Arena as he fights for the EFC Middleweight Championship. Good night and goodbye.
thank thank you for having me. Goodbye.